real quick, this is my alt channel, and my main channel is in danger every day of getting banned as a result of talking with these amazing people very candidly. So please do me a favor and subscribe down below. Helps me out a lot. Get the hell on it, doggone it. All right, so apparently taxes. Oh, Texas put a new bill in place called SB 17. And it's apparently affecting diversity hires. Let's listen to this. I think it'd be fun. I love hateful speech. Oh, my throat. My throat's very, very hoarse or sore. You get what I'm saying. All right, so let's listen to this and let's see what's going on here.
I cried, and I was angry. A lot of people are upset. All of my group chats are raging, all of the group me's, all of the slacks, everybody is raging.
They say the people and experiences close to them are being ripped away. According to our partners at the American Statesman, at least 60 staff members who were previously in DEI roles have been notified that their last day is at the end of the semester. In a letter to the UT community, President Jay Harsel wrote in part, quote, "To reduce overlap, we are closing the division of campus and community engagement and redistributing the remaining programs," end quote. That division used to be DEI related, and like similar departments, had to change its name in January because of the new law.
This is just Texas. Texas does not want us here. Texas has never wanted us here.
Christiana McAfee.
Yeah, so you see the bullshit there? You see the bullshit, right? That's the bullshit. These people, no matter what race or creed you are, you can be in any position in America. There's laws in place to guarantee that. You being forcibly put into a role because who happened to shit you out one day, that's pure racism. Now, I can understand the perspective that being for something because it benefits you. I get it. That is 100% why I'm for abolishing the IRS. You know, because it's going to benefit my ass. You know what I'm saying? But that's the issue, is when you advocate to fire or hire people based on the color of their skin, that is advocating for racism. Systematic racism, by the way. If you think because something benefits you, it's not suddenly racism anymore. If you think that people need to be lifted up because they cannot acquire something on their own, that means you think lesser of them. You think they're less capable. You think they're not as intelligent, nor can acquire the tools to become successful and intelligent, which means you think they're subhuman. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations, like Mick Steller is saying. If you think that someone needs help because of what they look like, you are fucked up. You are not a good person. But somehow we brainwashed an entire side of the country to think people of color are lesser, which makes them more virtuous, which is the craziest shit that's ever happened. How did this happen? How did people think that looking down on people made them more virtuous? How? And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I mean, they're born in a bad area. Are they? It doesn't say that on their application form they were born in a bad area. Well, they don't have a car because they're poor. It doesn't say on the application if they don't have a car. What does it say on the application? It says, what is your race? That's it. There are Black, Hispanic people. There are people of all races, aside from Asian and white, that have benefited from this program that were already from wealthy families. right? It's interesting to me. It's very interesting to me how we tricked people into thinking this. For example, voter ID laws, the craziest shit. Look, you may be able to make some kind of anecdotal argument in support of affirmative action, maybe. But I've never heard the argument, and I've never heard an argument ever as to why people are against voter ID laws when every other country, including third world countries, have them. Every other country. Right? Where's the argument? I know the reasons as to why. I know the arguments as to why we shouldn't do it. Are you kidding me? Is this real life right now? Is my camera? I guess my camera's just like, you know what? It's over. I guess at least I can just turn it off and on. At least there's that. Oh wow. Ranger Ben. Ben. I worked in HR for many years, and people are very mistaken about DEI. Never have got offered a position basically solely on the race. Are you kidding me? Shut up. They must possess the same skill set as other applicants. Sure. You're not going to hire a college or a high school dropout to be a mechanical engineer. I mean, yeah. The issue is the person you're hiring them basically. See, this statement's a little weird, Ranger, because you said you've never seen a position hired solely on race. They must possess the exact same skills as other applicants. Therefore, they both have the same skills. Therefore, what are they being hired from? Why are they being hired? How are you choosing from each applicant? You've never seen an applicant chosen basically solely on their race, but they have to have the exact same attributes as another applicant that's not of that race. Why did they get the job? Because of their race? Right? Like, so there's no other explanation. The point is, if you are lifting someone up because of the color of their skin, that is discrimination. Regardless of if you think you're doing it to benefit someone because you have some kind of guilt from 200 years ago, even though your family's from Ireland. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Ranger. I appreciate you. Ranger with a good question or a good statement. Kumar, my fellow libs at Google, says the disturbance in the form. He's talking about DEI. Get him. That's funny. Thank you, Kumar. I appreciate you. Oh, man. Oh. Ranger. Somebody actually, okay, Ranger. Somebody in the chat brings up a good point. Hold on. Where is it? I'll just say it. I can't find it. Somebody said, Ranger, why would we have DEI then if it was basically the exact same candidate? Right. Ranger says, job, educated, housing, and wealth have been denied for color people. Oh, so you're saying, okay, so that's where we were going with voter ID. Okay. That's where we were going with voter ID. So I'm actually about to address that because that's the one I shouldn't say excuse. That's the one argument for all of this stuff, right? It's because you don't think black people are educated enough or have enough money to be able to do it on their own. So you think we need to help them because they're, for lack of a better word, they're too dumb and too poor. Right? People don't understand how generational wealth is made. Correct. I grew up in a trailer park, and my mom and dad still live in the trailer park. And I made more last year than my entire 13 years working full-time in 1 year. Generational wealth. Granted, I didn't go to college. I didn't do the DEI. I didn't like fill out application, so I can't really attest to that. So think about it this way. So Ranger, you're claiming, or your argument is that every black person is poor and uneducated, right? Because you said that they're not like people, they've been denied education and housing, all the way up until 1965 during like the civil rights movement. So that means all black people today from that 60 years ago is uneducated and poor. So that's why we need affirmative action and voter ID laws. Well, I shouldn't say voter ID laws because we haven't really talked about that, but that's kind of the same argument for voter ID, right? So either treating someone different because of the color of their skin is either A, racist, or it's not. So like that's like you have to push down the first domino first, right? So the first domino is we have to be able to agree. We have to be able to agree that, or we have to be able to agree or disagree. The first domino that treating people differently because of the color of their skin is either racist or it's not. If it's not, then we move on to the second domino. Is 100% of people of color poor and uneducated? If that's not true, then we have to move to the third thing. Most. Does that mean that we need to include the application to include, let's say, how much money you make? It's hard to say, right? Because it's a sticky situation, man. Because I'm trying to look from the perspective, but it's hard for me to admit that people of color are dumb. And I shouldn't say dumb. I know you're not saying dumb, but that's what that means. Uneducated means dumb. That's a synonym, right? So, and poor. Now, look, I know this is anecdotal, but I live in a science town. I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and every black guy or black woman I know is an engineer, and they're hyper intelligent, right? So that's what I'm. Let's go ahead and move into voter ID because that kind of goes hand in hand. Make sure you like the damn stream, by the way.